What happens when a true legend faces the ultimate challenge? Paula Creamer, known as the Pink Panther, once lit up the golf world with her electric performances and indomitable spirit. Her career was a roller coaster of victories and defeats, where every setback fueled an even more powerful comeback. But what if those comebacks masked a deeper struggle? What if the drive that pushed her to the top was the very thing that would lead to her unexpected and sudden end? Let's start at the beginning, where the seeds of this extraordinary journey were first planted. Born in Mountain View, California, and raised in Pleasanton, Paula Creamer was the only child of an airline pilot father and stay-at-home mother. It could be the reason she fell in love with a pilot. We will come back to this part of the story later. However, Creamer was far away from the world of golf as a child and was fully into gymnastics and acrobatic dancing. But at the age of 10, she hit the golf court. It was as if destiny herself stepped in, redirecting Creamer's path toward the sport that would soon define her life. But was this sudden shift a blessing or a curse waiting to unfold? By the time she was 12, the world started to take notice. She won 13 consecutive regional junior events in Northern California. The following year, she became the top-ranked female junior golfer in California before relocating to Bradenton, Florida in 2000 to attend IMG Pendleton School, a famous prep school for student athletes. Everything went in order, and during her amateur career, Creamer captured 19 national titles, including 11 American Junior Golf Association (AJGA) events, earning the AJGA Player of the Year award in 2003. And represented the United States twice in the Junior Solheim Cup. But even as she reached the semifinals of major tournaments like the U.S. Girls Junior and U.S. Women's Amateur, a question lingered. Could she translate this dominance into a long-lasting professional career, or were there cracks already forming beneath the surface? In June 2004, Creamer narrowly missed her first LPGA Tour win, finishing just one stroke behind Christy Kerr at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Later that year, she tied for 13th at the U.S. Women's Open and represented the U.S. in the Curtis Cup. In December 2004, her real journey began. Just 18 years old, Creamer made the bold decision to turn professional after she won the LPGA Final Qualifying Tournament by a commanding 5 strokes, securing her spot on the tour for the 2005 season. At just 18 years old, she opted to turn professional immediately after this impressive victory. Before we talk about the success as a pro, here is what makes her story really interesting. Creamer felt like a caged-up fighter, ready to rumble. After being off the course for 6 months, she was stronger than ever and hungry for competition. In 2018, the 31-year-old made her return to the LPGA at the Bank of Hope Founders Cup in Phoenix, eager to make her mark in her first start after the long break. It wasn't just a simple return for Creamer or a matter of turning the page. It felt more like she turned the book upside down and started writing a completely new story. Creamer stuck to what worked for a long time. She remained with the same coach, caddy, and agent for more than a decade and kept a strong nucleus with her parents Paul and Karen. The first major change to her team came in December of 2014, when she married Derek Heath, an Air Force pilot and family friend. But this is where it gets fascinating. During that period, the changes were extensive. Creamer got a new coach, revamped her swing, adopted a different workout regimen, and switched to new equipment, including a different ball and clubs. But the changes didn't stop with her professional life. Creamer also confirmed that after 3 years of marriage, she and Heath had separated. This was simply not simple for the golfer to deal with a heartbreaking divorce and stay on top of the game, but she didn't give up and decided to move on. Resilience had always been Creamer's hallmark, but now it was being tested like never before. So, given her upbringing in the public eye, it's understandable that Creamer would want to shield her personal life from the spotlight. Instead, she focused on the future, emphasizing in a confident tone that she was in a good place both mentally and physically. Her longtime agent, Jay Burton, remarked that in the 14 years he's worked with Creamer, he's never seen her more eager to hit the first tee. When she did, fans noticed a stronger, more muscular Creamer, driving the ball 15 yards farther and gaining a club length with her irons as well. Creamer had a long-standing relationship with instructor David Whelan, working together for 15 years before she made the switch to Gary Gilchrist in December 2015. Then, she teamed up with Scotland-based coach Kevin Craggs, who counts notable golfers like Colin Montgomerie, Katrina Matthew, and Mel Reid among his clients. Together, they undertook a complete overhaul of Creamer's swing. She described the transformation as a night and day difference, and was confident that fully committing to Craggs' plan would eventually bring her back to the winner's circle. Despite the many changes, 2 clubs in her bag remain unchanged: her trusted TaylorMade R7 7-wood and Odyssey 2-ball putter. Additionally, she made the switch to the TaylorMade TP5 golf ball, a significant move considering she had been with Bridgestone since 2006. But Creamer took an unconventional approach by alternating between 2 caddies throughout the season in 2017. However, in 2018, she settled on veteran caddy David Brooker to take on the role full-time. Unfortunately, injuries have plagued Creamer at various points in her career, forcing her to adapt her approach to practice. No longer could she push through pain as she had in her younger years. Now, she had to listen to her body, to adapt, to survive. But could these adaptations really keep her in the game, or was she on a slow, inevitable decline that even her fierce determination couldn't stop? But her game wasn't always marked by ups and downs. At one time, the former IMG Academy student breathed that mountain's rarefied air. In 2008, Creamer made the cut in all 27 events she entered, winning 4 and finishing second once. In 2009, she twice finished second in 20 events played and tied for third at the Women's British Open. In 2010, Creamer won her only major, the US Women's Open. She was ranked as high as number 2 in the Women's World Golf Rankings. But in the ensuing years, Creamer won just once, the HSBC Women's Champions event in 2014. The number of tournaments entered decreased, as did the number of cuts not made. Wrist and thumb injuries forced her to miss the entire 2020 season. In 2021, Creamer entered 7 tournaments, making the cut once. The question was no longer whether she could win again, but whether she could survive the grueling demands of the sport she once dominated. Then came the ultimate challenge, balancing motherhood with professional golf. Maternity leave again forced her to the sideline. Returning in mid-2022, Creamer made 2 cuts out of 5 tournaments played. In 2023, she ranked 19th on the LPGA career money list in earnings, with more than $12 million, and missed the cut in 11 of the 13 events she entered. She ended 2023 ranked 872nd in the world.
I haven't obviously played for a year, and then, my body's changed, everything's changed. I have a daughter, so it's a little different than coming back from an injury.
But here is another turn to her already intriguing story. In January 2024, her journey took its final unexpected turn. After a practice session, Paula Creamer made a decision that shocked the golf world. She chose to step back from her professional golf career to focus on her family, picking up her 2-year-old daughter, Hilton Rose, from daycare. Keeping up with the demands of being a professional golfer and a full-time mom is always challenging enough on its own, but at 37 years old, Creamer was attempting to juggle both, while also striving to climb back up the LPGA mountain. She said, "I'm not ready to retire by any means. I love what I'm doing, but it's very difficult to play bad golf, I will say that." It took more than just determination for Creamer to make her comeback. She dedicated herself to intense workouts, gaining both weight and muscle mass, and overhauled her swing entirely. To keep up with the younger and longer hitting players on tour, Creamer needed to leverage her 5'9" frame more effectively in her swing. However, she believes she won't ignore the fact that she is 37 now. "But I've gained 3 miles per hour on my club speed, and I'm 37. I've gained weight. I'm doing the things that I can that I have to use to go against these younger girls and play." Paula isn't officially retired, but her game doesn't have much left in it these days. However, she sure knows how to enjoy life and focus on what entertains her the most. Creamer lives in the same neighborhood as Tiger Woods in Orlando, and has listed her mansion for sale at $6,900,000. She is trying to make the most out of the house, which is situated in a legendary golf neighborhood. Creamer purchased the property in 2022 with her fiancé, Shane Kennedy, for $2.2 million, and redesigned the property, increasing the current selling price of nearly $7 million. Share your thoughts on Creamer's story in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on fascinating golfer stories. See you in the next video.